Here on the Transparent FX Academy, every day I share my educational market breakdowns, showing you how you can be looking to analyze the market both from a technical and in order flow perspective to identify the best trading opportunities in the market. So without further ado, let's jump straight to the charts and see where we can be looking for the next potential opportunity. In today's video, I want to speak about nzdusd. Now, why do I want to speak about nzdusd? Well, at the moment, we do have quite interesting price action and structure for a potential opportunity. So as usual, I will be performing a complete multi-time frame top-down analysis, starting from the higher time frames, going down to the lower ones, and then we will go and see what we have from an order flow perspective. So COT data, which is basically what the biggest speculators in the market are doing, and then we will try to understand where we have the highest probabilities for a potential opportunity on the pair. Now, starting here from the monthly time frame, what we can see is that the market has just tested and rejected exactly the previous high. From here, the market did start this move to the downside, and at the moment, we have just tested this exact same supply and resistance, and the market has already started a quite sharp rejection to the downside, basically printing this monthly double top. So here on the monthly time frame, everything seems quite bearish, and we can expect the market to provide more continuation to the downside. Possibly, we even expect the market to create a move all the way back down to retest this previous monthly resistance, which, now that the market has broken into the upside, is turned support. And if the market will do that, then it would be great because we will also have a nice M pattern. But at the moment, let's not go too much basically forward in time and speak about what we currently have. Double top, and we do expect more continuation to the downside. Going down on the weekly time frame, what do we see? Now here on the weekly time frame, it seems like we are quite overextended to the downside, and we do need a correction before the market can create a continuation to the downside, because we had a very sharp movement and we still don't see any sign of a correction. Now, every market cannot move just with a straight line. At some point, every market will provide corrections, and that is great, because basically a correction gives the possibility to the market to grab new liquidity. So it would be great to see the market here on nzdusd provide a correction, because then the market could follow with a continuation to the downside. And obviously, after a correction, there is the possibility to be looking for a high risk to reward opportunity to the downside, since, as we have already seen on the monthly, we do expect in the long term more continuation to the downside. Just a quick thing, make sure that you like, subscribe, and also let me know in the comments the topic for the next video. Going down on the daily time frame, what do we have? Now here on the daily time frame, we basically have a clear confirmation of what we already have seen on the monthly and weekly. So everything is bearish, but the market is overextended to the downside. So we need a correction before we can create the continuation to the downside. If we go and see what we have from a COT perspective, we can see that lately net positions obviously have been decreased. We went from having 9.3k net positions down to having 5.5k net positions with shorts. It basically, more or less, they didn't really change much, okay? But they did go with the last report from 18k to 16k, which is not that great, because if you want to see more continuation to the downside, usually you will see a lot of shorts getting added from an institutional perspective, meaning that there is definitely the possibility to see a correction in order for basically the smart money in the market to add more shorts, and then we can provide the continuation to the downside. When it comes to longs, obviously longs are getting closed because nzdusd is melting to the downside quite aggressively. So we already have a quite strong confirmation of what we already expected by looking at the market from a technical perspective. So we expect a retracement before the continuation to the downside. But anyway, trading is reactive. Trading is not predictive. And the monthly, weekly, and daily timeframes combined with the COT data, those are the best timeframes from a directional perspective. And from a directional perspective, we expect a correction, which we don't know if it will come. But when it comes to the confirmations in the market, you want to be looking at the intraday timeframes, so 4 hour and lower. So how we will be approaching this situation with students. Now, if the market will actually provide a correction, at that point, During this correction, what we will be doing with students is monitoring price action on the intraday timeframes, basically looking for confirmations. So after a correction, we will be monitoring price action with students from a 4-hour perspective and lower, waiting for the market to shift from an intraday market, as we will have, to an intraday bearish market. And as soon as the market will shift from an intraday bullish to an intraday bearish market, at that point, we will be adding nzdusd to our watch list with students, and as soon as the market will provide to us one of our valid entries, we will be taking a nice short with a good risk to reward and good probabilities at that point for the move to the downside, and for the market to complete this impulse correction and impulse pattern to the downside, and for the market to provide and create a lower low. If you enjoyed the video, make sure that you smash that like button and comment below. It really does support the creation of more free analysis education and updates for all of you. You can also go and check out the mentorship program. The link is in the description. It's a very complete program. First, you learn all the rules of my rule-based strategies. Then you trade them with me every day. I give you a new daily market breakdown showing you how to apply the strategies with the entries, stops, and take profits. And you also can ask me questions every single day and get the answer the same day in the Q&A session. So it's a very complete program. I really suggest that you go and check it out. The link is in the description, and I will see you in my next video.